Welcome to the table. You are now listening to the Real Table podcast with Michael Carter.
Welcome back to another episode of the Real Table podcast with your host, Michael Carter. We got a guest on the podcast today, which is super exciting, talking about the newest film, Send Help, which I'm really excited to talk about. It's crazy, unhinged, but we'll get all into that when we break it down. But I'm glad to be joined by my friend Josiah Barnes. Josiah, man, welcome back. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. Thanks for having me back.
No problem, bro. How's life treating you?
Life's been good. Just working, and school started up again, and that's pretty much it.
Nice. Okay. You been watching anything as of recently?
So we took a little break because of Stranger Things, but my wife and I we picked up The Sopranos again.
Ooh,
We're
I've
coming
heard
down
that's
to
good.
the tail end. There's 6 seasons. We're still in season 5. It is really good if you're into the whole mob thing. Um, let's see, what else have I been watching? Um, just a few movies here and there. I think I told you last month I saw Primate. That wasn't bad.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the best. I mean, obviously it's at the start of the year for a reason, but I enjoyed myself.
Good.
Yeah.
Anything you'd want to tell people to go watch right now? Is there anything?
Um, aside from Send Help, not really. I mean,
Okay.
I don't think I've seen anything that's out
Good.
that people should go see if they haven't already.
What about the tail end of last year? Like, I know there was a lot of stuff coming out within like that fall, that winter space. Did you see anything?
Um, let's see. I'd probably say like Frankenstein was good if you have Netflix.
Okay.
One
Haven't seen
battle
that one.
after another. I know we talked about that. That was
Yes,
really good.
man.
I enjoyed that.
Yep.
Um, aside from that, I've just been watching like rewatching movies or just I haven't seen any like new movies in a while. So
Okay.
what about
Yeah.
you?
Beyond Send Help, I watched. Um, I know you just started. I watched Wonder Man. Watched the full
Hmm.
thing. I enjoyed that one quite a bit. Um, I watched The Wrecking Crew on Prime, which I really enjoyed. I want to try to do an episode on that probably within the next week if I can. I thought that was really good. I was really surprised. I usually think
Isn't that what is that again?
it's Momoa and Batista, Dave Batista.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Usually those movies, I'm like, I feel like they're not going to be great. They're straight to streaming, and I'm like, this is not going to be that great of an action movie. But I'll watch it. I'll check it out because it could be fun with those two personalities. And I thought it was really fun. But I want to watch it again to make sure I'm not going crazy. But at the first viewing, I was like, dang, I was way
Hmm.
better than I thought it would be, which is cool. So yeah, I mean, other than that, we got the Oscar stuff, the awards stuff. One battle I watched and stuff like that. There's still some films I need to lock in on because some of them have reached streaming now. So I just need to find a time and just carve it out and watch a movie and just keep knocking them down before March.
Right. I know last week at the end, my boss asked if I wanted to start working full-time hours.
Yeah.
I was just part-time, so that I usually that'll give me 4 1-hour lunches throughout the week, so that I could use that to start carving out some movies and some TV shows. With Wonder Man only being like less than 30-minute episodes, I could fly through that
Oh yeah,
probably through
bro.
next week.
Oh
Another
yeah.
thing, you watch Invincible, don't you?
I do. I need to finish last season. I
Okay.
was watching it and I just stopped watching.
Because I
Didn't finish it.
actually started reading the comic books.
Okay.
Um, it's really good.
Okay.
It's not really. It's honestly the show's pretty consistent with it. Maybe they like you remember the episode where they go to visit the college, and then that guy's making that like reanimation
Yes.
body thing, and that happens over the course of like several issues. So like the first guy happens in
Wow.
like the first guy who like impales himself is like one issue, and then like a couple issues down the road, it happens again. So it's the show's pretty like consistent to the source
Yeah.
material, but they condense it a lot more in the show for the sake of it being a show. But
Right.
it's really good. I got 19 issues left, and then I'm done with it. So yeah.
Nice. It is weird, or not weird, but I should say it's interesting when when you talk about a book and then comparing it to the movie. It's interesting what they decide to believe in, or
Hmm.
what they decide to elongate on, or to talk
Right.
more on, or what they decide to go, we're just gonna make this like 1 or 2 episodes and then keep it moving. It's always interesting.
Because there's a couple things that happen, and I'm like, yeah, I wonder how they're gonna. Are they just gonna skip that entirely, or are they
Right.
gonna, So
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. Sweet. Cool. All right. Beyond that, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to ask you. Oh, let me get your thoughts on, because it's not January anymore. It's February, which is insane. But it's February. We haven't
Mhm.
even like gotten into the thick of it when it comes to movies. But I mean, beyond like I think 21 years, which I heard was, or 28 years, which I heard was pretty good with reviews, and then like now Send Help. I think next week Wuthering Heights is like tracking to do some crazy stuff. Like looking at the rest of 2026, like what are like some movies that you're like really really looking forward to? You don't have to give me like a full top 10 list. Maybe you can do like 3 or 5, or what are some
3
films
o'clock. Okay.
that you're looking forward to?
Uh, Man, it's just I know, especially during COVID, things were looking a little like iffy on whether the theater industry was gonna shut down or go away or what's. But these last couple of years, man, it's just coming back stronger and stronger and stronger. And
Oh
so
yeah,
this
bro.
year, we got a lot of heavy hitters this year. Of course, the Odyssey. I mean, it's Christopher Nolan, of course. Then the cast listing for that film. Dune Part 3. It's really crazy that we get a Denis movie and a Christopher Nolan movie in the same year. I don't think that's happened before.
Dude, that's crazy.
Violent Night 2 this December. I am
Okay.
absolutely looking forward to
Okay.
that.
Is David Harbour back in that too?
Yep, David Harbour is back as Santa
Ah,
Claus for more Violent Night action. So,
all right.
I'm trying to think what else is coming out this year. Um, Dang, I'll just stick with those three because I just can't think right. I can't think at the moment, but
Yeah, for sure.
um, yeah. What about you?
Yeah, man. It's quite a bit of films that I'm just like really excited about, like Odyssey, obviously.
Hmm.
Dune's in that list. Like Spider-Man is in July.
Oh, right,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, Spider-Man's in July.
Oh, Doomsday. Can't
Yeah,
forget Doomsday.
Doomsday. The Michael Jackson movie, which comes out
Oh, yes.
like
I
that's
know
in
my wife really wants
April.
to see Michael Jackson.
That's gonna
April,
be
really?
in
Dang.
April, bro.
Okay.
That's gonna
All
be a
right. All
nice
right.
little splash to get the year kind of going. Um, Spielberg's movie Disclosure Day. I'm intrigued by that. I'm
I
excited.
think I've heard of that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah. And then
yeah.
also, I know a couple of years ago I told you I didn't want it, but I'm really excited for the Godzilla minus one sequel. I think that's coming out this year as well.
Oh,
Godzilla minus
okay.
zero.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
don't know. I changed my mind on that. I know I said for the record I said I didn't want a sequel, but I'm changing my mind. I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Yeah, I really love that one. That one's a really good movie. And it did pretty well here over the States, really well.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely excited. A lot of good stuff coming this year.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'm pumped for all of them. All right, let's get into it. What feels like a surprise hit of 2026.
Yeah.
Send Help. Let's do it.
I'm going to be frank with you. You are smart. I know that you are great with numbers, but I just don't think you got it. As an executive, I see no value in you. Does that make sense?
I'm sorry, what?
You know we have the Bangkok merger coming up. Prove me wrong. Oh, Linda, before you go, I forgot to mention I've received a few complaints about you.
Complaints?
Noxious odors.
Oh, God.
Take your seats. You're a little bitch.
Look who's trying to land of the living.
How long?
You been out? Day and a half?
Have you tried making a distress signal? Or a bigger fire?
I was busy trying to keep us alive.
But getting us out of here, that should be your focus, not being Susie Homemaker over here.
What did you just say to me?
Let's not forget, I'm your boss. You work for me.
We're not in the office anymore, Bradley. No help is coming. You just have to accept that this is how things are now. You ever hunt? I think I like it. You are stuck with an asshole boss. Just like I was. Although I'm betting I am a much nicer boss than you ever would have been. Except for maybe this part. I don't think we should ever leave.
All right, Send Help, directed by Sam Raimi, producers Sam Raimi and Zanib Azizi, writers Damian Shannon and Mark Swift. This is it feels very much like a Raimi film, man.
Mhm.
Like through and through. Like
So how many Raimi films have you seen? Because that was the first question you said. If I had any questions, that's pretty much the only question I could think of.
obviously the Spider-Mans.
Yeah. And the only other one I've seen is Doctor Strange.
Dude, I think so too. I think the only ones I've seen have been the superhero movies, but I've heard of, you've heard of his discography or his filmography, I should say, or some of the films that are in there, but I don't think I've seen anything outside of those films.
Yeah, because I know he did Drag Me to Hell.
Yeah. I've heard of that
And
one,
then
yep.
he's really known for Evil Dead back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
So I know he's known for being more of a horror director.
Right.
But I haven't really seen any of his other films outside the Marvel ones except for this one.
Oh, I did see Oz the Great and Powerful.
Oh, you did see that one?
I forgot about that one. Yeah.
That's James Franco, right?
Yeah, James Franco, Mila
Okay,
Kunis,
okay.
Rachel Weisz, Michelle Williams. Yeah, I forgot about that film. But yeah, I've seen quite a few of his films.
So this one still feels like a Raimi film?
It does, but it also, there's a cheese to it. Like there's a cheese to the movie that you have to be okay with. Like you can't take it too seriously. There's like, I feel like moments without the whole, I think throughout the whole movie, like they're hamming it up in some parts. But I think that's the fun in the movie, and that's what makes it good. It's that that's the direction.
Because I remember when No Way Home came out, Tom Holland was talking about it, and he said they did something they would call the Raimi cam, which was like zooming in on like an actor's face during like certain scene. And I definitely, thinking about that, I definitely felt that in this movie, especially the scene where like Dylan O'Brien sees the tuna on her lip, and it like zooms in on his face, and he's like really like irritated by it, but he's trying to keep his composure.
Yeah.
So with that kind of sense, I do feel like it is more of a Raimi film, but I've only seen like, I think, did you get any of that from Oz the Great and Powerful too? Not necessarily the zoom up, but like his sense of style of directing.
I'm gonna be honest, I saw Oz one time.
Hey, fair enough.
One time, so I couldn't even remember. I knew I I was intrigued by the story, obviously, and I
Mhm.
think Disney wanted that to be a franchise, and I
Yeah.
don't think they could figure that one out. But yeah, I couldn't even remember if I wanted to. But yeah, what did you think? Just first and couple sentences, like what did you think?
So I thought it was a lot of fun. I've only seen a few Dylan O'Brien projects, but I do like him as a performer. I thought he did really good. Of course, Rachel McAdams is Rachel McAdams. I did think they worked well together. And I think there was a lot of suspense in the movie too. Um,
Oh yeah,
and it just kind of, trying to just figure out, because I know you told me that you didn't know that she was going to be like the villain in the film, I guess.
I
But
did
with
not.
me knowing beforehand, people saying it's like Misery meets Castaway, I kind of
Okay,
got that kind of sense that she was going to be the villain. And so me trying to figure out like where it was going to go or like what's going to happen. Um, it was interesting to see how it all would play out.
yeah,
So because Tyler went with me, so we both liked it.
yeah.
We both had fun.
I had a lot of fun with this movie. It was just different moments where I'm like, this feels so ridiculous, and it's so
Yeah.
funny how ridiculous it is. But it's
Hmm.
like, I don't know, it just works. I feel like some people try different things and it doesn't work, but for this one, it was just like, I feel like he managed to nail like just that whole aesthetic and making it mesh to feel like, yeah, this feels ridiculous, and it
Hmm.
probably is, but that's just the reality of, the film and the story that Raimi's trying to tell.
Yeah.
Yep. So the movie, like $40 million budget, dude. $40 million
Really?
budget, and
Okay.
it's like it's halfway there. I think this past weekend, 28 point something $1 million it
Mm.
made, which is pretty impressive for a movie that comes
Yeah.
out in January.
Hmm.
Um, yeah. What are your thoughts on a blockbuster like this? Um, it's an original film. Rachel McAdams is definitely a name out there. Dylan O'Brien is too. And then even Sam Raimi being a name too. Like, what do you
Yeah.
think about a movie like this with not low budget? With a lower budget being so successful this early on this year.
I mean, I think this is something that we've been seeing more and more of the last couple of years. I think you and I, or maybe Tyler and I, talked about it when The Creator came out. Yes, that was more CGI heavy than Send Help is, but somebody having like, who said it? Somebody said it's not the size of the budget, it's how you use it. And so we're seeing more and more, even with Send Help, Sam Raimi knows exactly when to use the budget and when not to. I think the plane crash is probably where most of the budget went. Um,
Oh,
and
definitely.
then the boar scene. You could see the CGI a little bit on it, but it's mostly like he's like, "Hey, I know what I'm working with. I know I'm a director." Like he's not some new director. I mean, it's Sam Raimi, so he knows how
Right.
to make it work. So I think I'm not surprised that it's doing as well as it's doing in the beginning of the year
Yeah.
because of just because of those factors. With Sam Raimi, he knows Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien. These aren't like new actors like in Primate. They don't really have to
Right.
prove anything. They know what they need to do you know, uh, to make the scene work, and
Yeah.
so they were just able to knock it out the park, really.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I think any director that can uh, that can do a lot with less,
Hmm.
um, is a terrific filmmaker. And, he's been in this business for a long time. So he definitely is seasoned enough to make something like this happen. And yeah. And for it, I think it works and it wins in that way. Um, What are your thoughts on like the movie is like directly about two people. There's not really any other like subplot. There's very
Hmm.
little supporting cast. Like it's very, very, very straightforward. Do you think the film could have worked if they added in like obviously we see other characters and there's other things working around it, but like it's very much these are two people and we have this boss and this
Mhm.
lower on the totem pole worker, this boss didn't give her the promotion, and he makes fun of her, all this stuff. There's a lot of different things working against their relationship, and it's like a lot of tension. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that I don't think it would have benefited from any more characters. I feel like it would have taken away from the story,
Yep.
if there were more. I mean, we're not trying to, like, make a movie version of Lost, you know what I mean?
Right, right,
Um,
right.
but it definitely because the movie relies a lot on the dynamics between the 2, so it's like basically like in Misery, you know what I mean? Where he was in an accident, she's a nurse, but she's also kinda crazy, so she knows how to what he needs to get better, but then she also knows, because she's a nurse, how to make it worse so his recovery times will be extended, because she doesn't want him to leave. So in this one,
Right.
we see him just kind of being a jerk, and then she was like, "Okay," and then she, like, walks off the beach for, like, hours, and he's just, like, realizing, like, "Oh my gosh, like, I actually do, like, need this person." But then at the same time, I was like, she needs to rein it in a bit because, I mean, yes, he is wounded, but I'm like, Dylan O'Brien, he was looking pretty jacked in that movie, so I'm like,
Oh yeah.
you're gonna make him mad, but it's like when he gets his strength back, he could be a problem, you know what I mean? So, I think there was a lot of tension in their dynamic that would be, um, off center, I guess you could say, if there was, like, a 3rd person, because then they'd be like, "Oh, I agree with this person, I agree with that person," or "I'm just gonna do my own thing," and I think it would just be too many cooks in the kitchen at that point.
Yeah, definitely. And it made it more intense that way.
Mhm.
Like the idea of like this whole thing is centered around, okay, trust. Who's in control in this situation? And even then, who's gonna break first? Like it was just like every step of the moment, it was just like it was tense. And then there were a moment where it felt like the two were beginning to connect, and it was
Mhm.
like it was really interesting. Again, the dynamic, the shifts that Raimi was able to do, but like it was really interesting, like seeing Linda and Bradley kind of just like they were like connecting. I was like, oh shoot, they're like building something really cool here.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get off this island. She's gonna work higher up in the company now, and it's like everything's gonna be good. But it's like, no,
Right.
that's not happening.
Yeah,
That's not
you're always
happening.
just kind of waiting for the pen to drop because there was so many times where, like, he kinda stabbed her in the back and she was, like, a little too mean, so then it's like you said, who's gonna break first and who's gonna be like, "Alright, I'm gonna get you before you get me,
Yeah,
because now I definitely don't trust you," it's like, the whole I thought somebody was gonna be like, "I'm just not gonna sleep again because I don't know what you're gonna be doing when I'm trying to sleep," you know what I mean? 'Cause there was just
crazy.
so many moments, so many because I mean, there was even that scene, to get, basically when he cooks her dinner, and then, uh, and then he, like
Ooh!
and then he's like, "Screw you, Linda, from accounting," and then it's like, it didn't work, and then it's like,
Runs with the
well,
boat.
now it's like, it didn't work, and she saved his life again, so it's like, what, I don't know if I'd go to sleep after that because it's like, now
Dude,
I definitely don't trust you, I'm not gonna eat any food that you try to serve me, and I don't think I'm gonna believe anything that you say to me after this point.
dude,
So I mean, there was just, I don't know, there was just a lot going on.
a lot going on. It was, oh yeah, it was like I was like, dang. I was like, I feel bad for like you feel bad for Linda. Like you feel bad for
Mhm.
her at the start. And then when you realize like, oh, like I thought it was funny. I was like, oh, her survivor skills, she auditioned for
Yeah.
Survivor. Bradley and the coworkers were laughing at that video. And I was like, oh, she's auditioned for Survivor. But then when she starts using those skills, I was like, dang, she killing it. Um,
Right.
and then she starts to think about it, and she's like, she sees that boat, and then she goes, hmm, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna
Right.
I'm gonna keep quiet, and I'm just gonna enjoy this island and not have to go back to basically her miserable life, which is
Mhm.
crazy. I was like, when the moment she did that, I was like, oh shoot, She wild. She not trying to say nothing. I was like, oh no. I was like, this is gonna be
Because
crazy.
it's like you're right. I do feel bad for her at the start, but then she was also very awkward of a person. Like I was sitting there, kind of like looking like this, waiting for the scenes to be over when she was in the office. Hey, I'm so and so, and yeah, every day I was just like, you're really like making
Oh,
it hard for me to
root
like
for
you
you.
because you're so uncomfortably awkward that
Oh.
I just can't. I was like, I can't stand it. Like I feel bad that nobody's really being nice to you, but you're also making it really hard to want to be around you.
What for you? What makes this film like? If you're putting it in a category, obviously for genre,
Mhm.
like what makes this a horror film?
Well, see, I think that horror is a word that its meaning has been changed over time to where like horror today isn't really what horror was back in the day. Because I think there's a lot of movies that are considered quote unquote horror movies that are just like thrillers with some horror elements to it.
Right. Right.
It's more tension is what you're looking for, not necessarily horror.
Hmm.
Um, because I think a lot of horror movies today definitely dive into like the supernatural, like the satanic a little bit
Oh,
versus
for sure.
um, you know, it's very tense because back in the day it's like Scream or Halloween, okay, somebody breaking into my house trying to kill me, that's horrifying. But today it's like that's not really that big of a deal. I mean, yes,
Yeah.
it would be traumatic, but it's not like you're gonna be covered jumping under the blanket, like, I don't wanna look. It's more of like there's so many things like that, you know what I mean, today. So, um, I just think it's a very tense film, and it's just a fear of, like, being in a situation like that, where you're, like where you've wronged someone, but then you're kind of, like, at their mercy. I think that's kind of where
Yep.
the the fear, I guess, comes in.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Now, I think it's crazy too. Like even talking about those elements, like even like just some like the surprise and twists and turns
Mhm.
that the movie provides. Like when you find out, obviously they're just there's multiple times where they're having scuffles, but like the one last scuffle and he's running and he's running and he's running and he's like she tells him, don't go past a certain point.
Mhm.
And I'm like, okay, interesting. So he decides. I don't think he was even paying attention. I think he was just trying to get away, and he ended up going to that point. And so he
Right.
passes the point. Dude sees a house. Oh my God. I said, oh no. I was like, I knew she was crazy, but I was like,
Right.
oh, she's that crazy. She saw that house. I was like, okay, all this is making sense. And she gets in the house and then they show, when she was in
Uh-huh.
the house and all the stuff that she took. I was like, that's why she was killing it. Like, obviously she had good instincts and she was making use
Mhm.
of some of the stuff, but like she was she took some stuff to make it easier for her. I was like, oh dude. Oh man. Oh, my heart sank, bro. I
Yeah.
was worried. I was worried for my guy, and obviously being worried for him made sense because he ended up dying. It is what it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Um, but I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. The relational tension. Rachel McAdams was actually really fantastic. Like
Same. I agree.
she played a psycho, and I was just like I wanted to feel bad for her, and I'm like, oh, I
Mhm.
feel bad for you. But then it's like when she started doing this stuff, I was like, oh no, like you are icky woman, bro. Like you
It's
are.
even with the costume design and stuff because I know on the way
Yes.
home, Tyler and I were talking about that because everybody's so used to Rachel McAdams being all dolled up and being glamorous like Rachel McAdams, and the fact
Yes.
that they made her look so like unkempt, even with like the
Oh.
hair and even like her face and everything is just like they did a really good job. You know what I mean?
And
So.
when I sat down, I was like, why did they pick Rachel McAdams for this movie? And then I looked closely, like in the beginning of the movie. I was like, oh my gosh, look what she's wearing. Look at her hair, the glasses, all that stuff. I was like,
Right? You're like,
okay, they got it. They got it right.
mhm.
They got it right. They made her.
She just played. She showed a lot more range than I think she's been afforded the opportunity in the
Yes.
past with like The Notebook or Mean Girls. But it's just like really just the awkwardness, and then like the tuna, and then the shoving it in the sand, like the drawer. I was like, she didn't even have a bag, bro. I was like, come on, man. Like,
It's
and I know
wild.
Tyler, going back to even some of the awkwardness at the beginning of the movie in the workplace, because Tyler was like really laughing and stuff when Dylan O'Brien's like making the guy smell the tuna on his hand. He's like, smell it. He's like, no. He's like, do it. And it just zooms in on his nose. It's like, that's just
Like,
so awkward and uncomfortable. Like you're just doing it to kiss up to the boss, but most people are like, dude, I'm not smelling that. Like, just wipe it off and keep moving,
yeah.
But he's like, ugh.
Also, I'd like to point out, like, I thought the movie looked beautiful. Like, I
Yeah.
think a lot of the movies that we see nowadays, some of the colors are toned down a bit, but this movie felt very, very vibrant. Like the island felt very lush in its colors. Like the water looked blue, and the sun looked like,
Because they were around like Thailand or something, weren't they?
yeah, they're around like Thailand. But yeah, it looked very, very beautiful on camera, which is always a favorite part of mine. Is when somebody
definitely.
can get a movie to look good.
Even like the food, bro, when she had like the mangoes and all that,
That's
the
what
way
I'm
that she like
saying. I'm like,
spread. I was like, man, like
give me a mango, bro.
I would love to eat some good old fruit like that,
Yeah.
Felt like I was at like a hibachi restaurant, but like the sushi and everything. I was
Right.
like, man,
Do you think you could kill a boar?
I would like to think so. I would like to think that I would try, but I don't know. I think it's just one of those things where like in the moment, it's just something that's going to be decided in the moment.
Yep.
Because it's like if it's either I kill this thing and figure out how to cook it or die, it's like I'm at least going to try.
Right. Right. I was thinking about that during that scene, and like, I'm like, oh, she's gonna go kill this boar. I was like, oh crap. I'm like, could I kill this?
Because
I
boars
don't know if
are
I could do it.
vicious, bro.
Dude,
Like
that's
they
what
are
I'm saying.
actually
Like,
very aggressive animals.
and the way they portrayed it, I think probably is spot on, because she had stabbed it and thought it was dead. I was like, no, it kept going,
Yeah.
and then the way she just killed it and stabbed it, and the way it just died, I'm like, oh,
Yeah. And then having to drag it all the way to, that would have taken a long time,
Linda from
especially if you don't
accounting.
have anybody else to help you.
No, her muscle is sitting on the beach because of his leg. Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh man, Linda from accounting. Cool. With this movie, and like the way that I feel like it's hitting, and people are loving it and singing its praises. I'm sure it could make some more money before Wuthering Heights comes out next week. What should be next from Sam Raimi? I feel like he's doing everything. Like he dipped his toe back into the superhero world. He's even made a couple comments as of recently about superhero films. He's like, I would do more if people would ask. He also has been like, I would love to direct a Batman movie. Like, I feel like he's at a point now in this movie being as successful as it is. I think he's going to be able to spread his wings and do whatever he wants. What are your thoughts on what he should do? Should he just stick into this horror gap, or should he just keep playing around with other stuff? Like, what do you think?
I would stay away from the superhero stuff. Not because I don't think he would excel. I mean, Sam Raimi. People still say Spider-Man 2 is like one of the greatest superhero movies ever made. It's just at this point, for Marvel and DC, there is so much oversight that I don't think he'd be able to do what he'd want to do. I would say just keep experimenting. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't. I know he's known for horror. Everybody knows he can do it, but it's like, what else can you do, Sam Raimi? Not that we're tired of the horror thing or whatever. It's just why not just stretch your muscles and try something different. So I think I would like to see him just kind of play around and see what else he could do.
Yeah, I hear that. I'm 50-50 on it. I like the idea of him keep playing with things, especially in a space where I feel like we need more and more original product, more original films, and I'm like, the more we can get more original films and filmmakers creating original films, I think the better, especially if they're good and they're successful. I think that's really good for the industry and just good
Yeah.
for everything involving film. Um, yeah, I think if he does do the superhero stuff, I think obviously he has to be particular, and I think
Mhm.
and if I am him, I would demand that creativity and that freedom uh to do what he wants. I don't know if he'll ever do another Marvel movie. Um, and that ain't, who knows what he'll do with a DC movie if he'll do a
Right.
DC movie. But yeah, if he can get less creative oversight, because I'm always curious what Doctor Strange could have been. If I don't think Marvel. I mean, obviously Marvel has oversight, but I'm wondering like how much oversight and if there was room to
Mhm.
give him even more, a little bit freedom to dive into some of the
Right.
elements of that movie.
Because I think
Um,
it would have to be like a Matt Reeves situation where he's still allowed to do
yes,
whatever he wants. Yes,
yes,
it's Batman, but it's not he's not part of the
yes,
cinematic universe, so he's
yes.
allowed to just
Do
execute his
whatever.
vision.
Yep,
Whereas Doctor Strange was, it's a sequel to Doctor Strange in the MCU. So
yep.
there's certain things that it's like, um, like the 48-hour film festival at BG.
Yeah. Definitely.
So like you reach your hand in, you could do whatever you want, but you have to include these elements. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's kind of what the MCU is at this point. Same thing with DC. It's like you can do whatever you want, but you have to include X, Y, and Z because we're trying to move it in this direction. Maybe not the next film, but maybe the film after that. And it's just like so suffocating when there's stuff that you have to include in that way, as opposed to,
Yeah.
hey, I'm Matt Reeves. This is what I want to do. I'm going to make a Batman trilogy, and this is how it's going to go. And so, all right, have at it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I think that would be, like you said, to have to demand a special place to just be able to do what he wants.
Yep. I agree. I can't see him not doing anything differently. Um, cool. You got any closing thoughts on Send Help?
So, I know we texted about it briefly, but I think the only issue that I have in the movie was like the
Mm,
ending. I don't have an issue with Linda killing Bradley. I just feel like it should have been a little more earned.
sure.
Um, because it's like it just I was thinking about it earlier today, but it reminds me of like the Sandlot too, right? Where they're the girls, the softball girls, and she pitches and the kid and his friend was like, "Dude, you didn't even swing." You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Where it's like with Bradley, she's standing over him, and then she goes like this, and then next thing you know, he like looks to the right into the goal. And it's like you didn't even try to grab the glove. You
Hmm.
didn't try to cover your head or grab
Hmm.
her leg or something. So it just kind of
Sure.
just. I know we texted it, and Tyler feels the same way, but it just kind of felt like he just kind of like gave up,
Hmm.
and it was just like I feel like he should have tried to. There should have been a little bit more of a scuffle right there at the end.
Yeah.
But with her killing him and winning everything, I don't have a problem with that really.
Yep.
That was just like my one gripe. And then we did wonder, just these are like nitpicks at this point, but it's like,
Sure.
how did she clean up the house? Like,
Yeah.
didn't these people like when they have wondered what happened? Or
Yep.
I know his fiance and that one guy, the boat. Did she sink that boat? Like the boat just disappeared and went missing, and
Hmm.
nobody went to investigate. Like,
Yeah.
hey, the boat obviously came to the island. What happened? So I think those are just the only tiny little issues that would have with the story with Linda winning.
Yep.
But with the fact that she won or any of that, I don't have a problem with that.
Yep. Those are valid
Yeah,
thoughts.
but
Those are
it
definitely little
didn't
plot
ruin the
holes.
movie for me. It
Right.
didn't affect my enjoyment level of the film. It was
Yeah.
just one of those, I think it's like the first time I saw Guardians 2, but then after when you rewatch it, you kind of accepted the things that you didn't like, and then you could
Yes.
just enjoy it for what it is. So I
Yep.
think upon a rewatch and beyond, you know, that's what he decided to do with this film, and I had fun. And at the end of the day, what else can you ask for?
Yeah.
So,
No, I hear that. I think the best movies are you can find some criticism in it, but if it doesn't take away from the overall film, it's a win. It's a win.
yeah.
It's a win. Well, sweet. Josiah, bro. Thanks for hopping on, talk about Send Help. I also love that the runtime is not long. I like that
Oh,
it's
yes,
very
absolutely.
concise film. It's very straightforward. The dynamics, everything about it is just like this is easy to receive, easy to
Mhm.
understand. I'm in and out. and I still got the rest of my day to enjoy, which is
Yeah,
nice.
absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely.
But yeah, bro, thank you for hopping on here to talk about
Thanks for having me.
Send Help. The first guest in a long time, but we're gonna have to get you back on here this year and to talk about more films. So yeah, thanks for being on here. Everybody else, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening to the Real Table Podcast. Go see Send Help, an original film. Rachel McAdams, Dylan O'Brien. Go support original films, and don't just wait till April till Michael comes out. Support original films. Hoppers comes out in March. New Disney Pixar film, which I've already seen some reactions. Sounds like it's going to be good. I hope it's good. Pixar needs to win, and I think Disney itself needs to win too with an original product too. So we'll see that in March. But other than that, I would talk to y'all real soon. Y'all be safe out there.
Thanks for listening to today's episode. If you're enjoying the deep dives and the conversation around film, be sure to share and follow the podcast. Once again, thanks for coming to the table, and we'll see you next time.